Hello YouTube, Byron at Splitting Slices. Well, it is Thursday, August 29th, 2024. About lunchtime, I'm taking my lunch break from the shop and I thought I'd go ahead and do a long video and a Thankful Thursday video. Open tag response started by Dave up there in the Great White North. You know him as Singing Toad, Gear and Outdoors. But I thought I'd go ahead and share this tale of 5 knives. And why do I say this? Well, I thought it sounded good as a good title. But this is also a collection of gift knives that were given to me by my daughter and son-in-law, that would be Kelly and Chuck, as part of an inheritance gift. Unfortunately, we lost Chuck's father, Dave, not too long ago. He led a joyous life, a long life. And these were a few knives that he had at his property, and Kelly and Chuck both know that I'm a knife enthusiast. I enjoy talking about them, looking at them, researching them, and they thought they would go ahead and gift these to me. So I want to thank both of them from the bottom of my heart for these knives from Dave's estate. I appreciate that, and I thought we'd quickly talk about them and just kind of go over the basics. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go from left to right. The first one I've got here is a clip point hunter blade in a leather sheath. Now this is manufactured by a company called Sharp Knives. And as I understand it, this was basically a private brand owned or at least subbed by Kmart. So this was a budget knife brand that Kmart stores used to sell back in the 70s and 80s. And this knife says it was manufactured in Taiwan. I believe some of their manufacturing took place in Japan too, but it says Taiwan, so we'll trust that. It's made of stainless steel. The knife overall is about 7.5 inches long. It's got a 3 5/8 inch long stainless steel clip point blade. Slight upturn on that, almost like a type Persian type clip on that blade. Okay, I want to say that it is made to look like wood handles, but I do believe that is a decal over probably some kind of synthetic material like a phenolic or something to that effect to make it cheaper to produce. But it's a nice knife. It's got a pretty decent edge on it. I can certainly sharpen it up. And yeah, just a nice budget user clip point hunter blade. So Kmart Sharp series. Pretty nice leather sheath that came with that back in the day. Be hard pressed to get that kind of quality now. All right, the second knife I have is, I'm going to assume this is a homemade, certainly a homemade sheath, but possibly a homemade knife. Don't know anything about this other than it is a KEP Heart style camping survival knife. So this has got the classic KEP Heart knife spearpoint blade of about 5 inches long. The overall knife is around 8 3/4 inches long. The whole package weighs 7.1 ounces with the sheath, but the knife itself only weighs 3.4 ounces. So it's relatively a light knife for its size. It's got a stainless steel blade. It does have, I'm going to call it jimping, but it definitely is basically a filed in scallops. I'm not going to call them serrations, although I do think the purpose of this is to be able to do some bushcrafting work, basically to maybe debark branches. But it also acts as some jimping on the thumb when you put your thumb up there. Good neutral overall comfort. This is just a classic spearpoint KEP Heart style knife. You can see that the knife was put together with wood scales and with brass rivets, and you can see the corrosion that has been on this knife for years. I scratched one of them off just to see if it'd come off, and of course it does. So this knife needs a little tender loving care, and those brass rivets cleaned off, but other than that, this knife's in very good shape. Needs a sharpening, but still in good shape. And again, no brand name, no maker's mark on this, but just a nice classic design of a KEP Heart knife. And obviously somebody took some time to use a homemade leather and rivet this sheath together for the knife. The third knife I have is a K-Bar model 1004 trapper knife. Now, unfortunately, this knife, although the handle and the blades are in exceptional condition for as old as this is, this knife should probably date back to the 70s, but I believe K-Bar manufactured this knife anywhere from 1966 up to 1984. And it has the capital K-Bar stamp on that. I don't know if you can see that or if my camera will focus. But it has the capital K-Bar markings, which says that that knife could be as old as 1953. So I believe they changed in 53. They went ahead to K and bar with the rest of the words in smaller letters. But more research for me to do. But unfortunately, you can see the spay blade in this trapper has been broke. But the clip point is still in really good shape. It's 1095 steel. This is a 6 7/8 inch overall trapper blade with a 2 7/8 inch clip point style main blade on this. Knife weighs approximately 3.5 ounces if that spay blade was intact. But again, these were manufactured between 1966 and 1984 as far as the model. But again, with there's some question as to the actual date because of the complete capital tang stamp that is put into the clip point blade. But still a nice overall good hand grip on this knife. And the last two knives that are on the table are the same. And basically they are, we'll pull one up here, an example of the Schrade USA manufactured Oldtimer 12OT PAL, P-A-L, series of pocket knives. So the scales are manufactured in a saw-cut Delrin. It has the standard cigar Oldtimer badge. These were made in the United States. They were made anywhere from 1991 to 2004 before the company closed up. It's a 5 1/8 inch overall length knife with a 2 1/4 inch 1095 clip point blade. And you can see this definitely has some pitting and some patina on it, but they both need to be cleaned up a little bit. But other than that, they're actually in pretty good shape. And just a nice little pair of pocket knives to drop one on each side, left hand or right hand. And I'm sure Dave carried these on a daily basis as just a quick pocket dropper. Good office carry or church knife. The Schrade Oldtimer 12OT. All right, so that's the tale of these 5 knives. And again, I want to thank Kelly and Chuck for gifting these to me as part of their inheritance from Dave's estate. I appreciate that. And this is Byron from Splitting Slices saying, hey, if you get a chance, split a slice with a friend soon. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.